Have you ever imagined living in a place unlike any home you've ever known? The world is full of unique and bizarre places that may seem unbelievable. Yet people actually live in these homes. Get ready with WOW TV to experience unexpected perspectives you never thought of before. In the southern Netherlands lies a village that looks like a scene straight out of a science fiction movie. Balwinningen is a residential area with unique spherical houses. Inside the houses are 3 levels: bedrooms on the ground, a bathroom in the middle, and a living space on the top. They look very modern, but drawbacks include their small size and high cost. However, the surrounding environment is quite good, which is why residents here have no intention of leaving. It's truly surprising to learn that this magical scenery isn't the work of any editing software, but rather created by human hands. The bands also are a part of the transformation project in South Korea. In 2015, many wondered how something could fit inside a house like this, dismissing it as a joke. But their opinions quickly change upon seeing what the inside of the house looks like. The house stands about 7 meters tall, 15 meters long, and is only 1.3 meters wide. It was constructed by the artist Erwin Wurm. With all the amenities of a regular home, bedrooms, bathrooms, and a living room. For some, this setup evokes feelings of claustrophobia and discomfort as they navigate closely against the walls. Would you live in a house like this? Ketekesu Village has been like a living museum in Toraja, Indonesia for over 400 years. All the houses here are built in the Tongkonan style, with massive boat-shaped roofs lined up facing each other. The enclosed design with few windows gives a mysterious vibe when you step inside. Surprisingly, these spaces serve as communal areas for resting and ceremonies, designed to withstand harsh weather and keep out wild animals. What you're seeing are buffalo horns. Locals believe that the more buffalo horns a house has, the wealthier the family is. This isn't an abandoned airplane in the woods. It's the home of an American electrical engineer named Bruce Campbell. Bruce dreamed of creating a unique home from a young age. When he discovered that truck houses existed, he thought about repurposing decommissioned airplanes. With his skills, Bruce transformed an old Boeing 727 into a real house that meets basic human needs. At the same time, he retained several original features to suit his personal taste. Have you ever thought about living underground? About 150 million years ago, part of Australia was covered by the ocean, which later turned into a desert, causing severe climate changes.
Cold in winter, like down to 1 degree, and in summer where it gets up to around the 45 mark.
To cope with harsh weather, the residents of Cooper Petty came up with the idea of building houses underground. Using simple materials like sandstone and siltstone, these houses maintain a constant temperature of 23 degrees Celsius, that's 73 degrees Fahrenheit, year-round. The architecture can help residents maximize their privacy. This could be a great idea if humans move to live on another planet in the future. You might not know Atelier by name, but you might have heard of the Cliff Village in Sichuan, China. This village, perched on an 800-meter cliff, became famous after images of students here climbing sky ladders to school went viral. To help the villagers, the government pitched in 1 million yuan, about $150,000 to build a 3-kilometer long steel ladder with 2,556 steps. In 2020, in response to new policies, 84 families agreed to move to a resettlement area below the cliff. However, 30 households chose to remain in their original homes, continuing to develop tourism in the area. Can you see the house hiding in the middle of this forest? Welcome to Mirrorcube, the invisible hotel. The mirrored walls reflect everything around it, making it blend right into nature. A unique design with a lightweight aluminum structure wrapped around a tree trunk, compact yet fully equipped. At night, the hotel becomes even more enchanting with light shining from inside. Anytime you visit, Mirrorcube is always a magical place because of its one-of-a-kind experiences. In a stark contrast to the flashy exterior of Las Vegas, deep within its tunnels lies a miserable underworld. Originally built as a storm drainage system for the city, these tunnels now shelter nearly 2,000 homeless individuals. These residents, often dubbed mole people, endure living in a dark, damp, and dirty conditions that are meant for moles, not people. They must contend with darkness, the risk of flooding in rainy seasons, and the constant threat of lurking criminals. Outside volunteer groups have ventured into these tunnels to distribute food and advocate for these individuals to return to the surface. But rescuing thousands of mole people from the darkness is not something a few individuals can accomplish. A famous bridge not meant for vehicles, only pedestrians, sounds hard to believe, but it's true. With incredible historical significance, Ponte Vecchio Bridge was built in the Middle Ages and is the largest stone and wood architecture here. The bridge has been a marvel due to the houses built along both sides. Initially, these shops were meat markets, but were later replaced by jewelry shops, making it a renowned tourist destination. This place is not for vehicles because it's always bustling with pedestrians passing by, shopping, and enjoying the scenery. Ponte Vecchio is also famous for the love locks, a symbol of eternal love. Movies often draw inspiration from real life, and maybe the model for the Flintstones was the Casa de Penedo in Portugal. Made from 4 granite boulders, the house even has a pool and bulletproof windows. Inside, it's fully equipped, except for electrical appliances, as the owner wanted to return to a pre-technology era. Originally, it was a family retreat, but the house quickly became famous for its unique architecture. Curious visitors made the owner move elsewhere, and now the house has become a local museum, attracting many tourists. Bathrooms are ideal places for many people to sit for hours, but they definitely won't want to stay there for more than 10 minutes.
here. When they go to the toilet, it just falls through to the water.
Makoto in Nigeria is considered one of the most forgotten and insane slums. It's characterized by rickety wooden houses floating on water, with up to 200,000 residents. Due to a lack of government attention, this place faces worse living conditions than ever, with waste, disease, and floods. Despite all these hardships, the people here live with a lot of affection and acceptance. However, these children deserve a better life. Integrating tradition into modern living, that's how the pyramid buildings in China were born. This residential complex is inspired by the terraced fields of Asia and the sport of parkour, which is gaining renewed interest among the youth. Alongside an 18-story building are two 12-story buildings, all stacked like Lego houses. It seems like an ideal living space, but residents face many privacy inconveniences. If you stand on the balcony of this house, you can easily see all the activities of the neighbors living below. Do you remember the speech by Tuvalu's foreign minister amidst the waters of COP26, which went viral on social media? As the fourth smallest country in the world, Tuvalu has about 11,000 people in an area of nearly 26 square kilometers, with its highest point just 3 meters above sea level. With the current sea level rise and coastal erosion rates, experts predict that this island nation will completely disappear by the end of the 21st century. Some countries like Fiji and Australia suggested offering land for Tuvaluans to resettle, but their government declined. They're struggling to save their homeland. Relocation will be their last resort. The means of transportation in the floating village of Kampong Luang, Cambodia are boats and rafts. The unique features of the houses and structures here is that they are built on stilts 6 to 9 meters high to adapt to the changing water levels between seasons. Due to a semi-nomadic lifestyle and almost non-existent welfare services, the lives of over 300 households here are very challenging. They do everything on the water surface, including using the lake water for bathing, swimming, washing, fishing, boat transportation, and goods transportation. As a result, the area is underdeveloped and faces significant environmental pollution issues. Those who have visited Kampong Luang are deeply impressed by the resilience of the locals. The only place in the world to experience the clearest auroras and the super blue blood moon is the town of Longyearbyen in the Svalbard archipelago, Norway. Located about 1,050 kilometers from the North Pole, this is where the sun doesn't set for 4 months, and the night lasts for the following 4 months of the year. Initially founded for coal mining, Longyearbyen is now a hub for scientific research and adventure tourism. There are 2,400 residents from over 50 countries here, and you can easily become one of them as the town allows immigration without a visa. Thanks to the modern design and technology, humans can indeed live underwater like fish. The Muraka Hotel at Conrad Maldives is considered an architectural marvel with its unique underwater design. This hotel has 2 levels, like other hotels, with the upper part above the sea level offering all amenities and facilities. The standout feature of this architecture is the main bedroom on the lower level, submerged over 5 meters below sea level. Imagine experiencing the sensation of sleeping with a fish or having coffee surrounded by coral. I think that would be an amazing experience brought to us by talented architects. A house that can stand up to a passing breeze. Yeah, you didn't mishear me. Reactor, the daring creation by Alex Schweder and Ward Shelley, brought this seemingly absurd idea to life. Its mobility depends not only on external forces, but also on the movements of people inside. The two architects lived in the house for 5 days in public view to highlight the importance of human interaction, because the house can only achieve balance when everyone inside cooperates harmoniously. The desert may seem uneventful until you discover the marvel of Huacachina Oasis. Located in one of the driest climates on Earth, Huacachina is considered an oasis amidst the desert with around 100 residents. The oasis formed naturally due to geological movements. Infrastructure in Huacachina is relatively well developed. The most popular activities here include exploring the desert in dune buggies and sandboarding down the towering dunes. City of the Silent, City of Souls. Can you guess where this is? It's Colma, California, a town with just 1,700 residents squeezed into 2.2 square miles. But here's the twist. It's home to over 1.5 million departed souls, and 73% of its land is dedicated to cemeteries. Colma was founded in 1924 as a solution for San Francisco's burial space shortage. This has persisted to this day, defining the town and even showing up on its local merchandise. When it comes to apartment complexes, we often picture box-like structures containing multiple units inside. But Habitat 67 completely breaks away from this traditional image. With its 12 floors, each unit within has its own balcony and comes in different sizes. The rooftop gardens are lush, natural ventilation systems abound, and ample daylight floods the interiors. Habitat 67 is considered a revolution in high-rise, high-density living. Even though many old trends have faded, Habitat 67 stays modern and is a vital part of the community here. Long ago, people learned to dig into the earth to build homes to protect themselves from harsh weather. The underground city of Derinkuyu is one of the most remarkable examples still existing. Some archaeologists estimate it was built around 2000 BC by the Hittites. It's amazing to think about the skills and knowledge of those builders back then. Living underground for extended periods was incredibly challenging, yet none of Derinkuyu's 18 levels have collapsed. This vast underground maze spans 18 floors and reaches a depth of 85 meters, capable of housing up to 20,000 people. In various periods, Derinkuyu served as a refuge for residents and a storage for food. Today, Derinkuyu is a museum, open daily throughout the year. As the world undergoes modernization, the Yaros people of Lake Titicaca in South America maintain their ancient traditions with reeds. Originally used for small house materials, locals later transformed them into floating islands, boats, watchtowers, schools, and more. To combat rot caused by high humidity, they must regularly replace the reeds, especially during the storm season. Living in a damp environment without many modern resources or amenities may not be ideal for many. But the Yaros people live with pride and honor in their unique cultural heritage. Rocinha is an informal settlement built illegally on the hillsides of Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. Everything is tightly packed into small spaces, with houses stacked on top of each other, sometimes up to 10 stories high. Despite its challenging conditions, basic amenities such as electricity, water, and even cable TV are available. However, there are no safety or sanitation regulations, and disease outbreaks are common due to the narrow channels between houses. Compared to some other slums, Rocinha prides itself on relatively better infrastructure. Imagine if your neighbors were scarecrows. It's kind of creepy, but that's the reality of Nagoro Village, Japan. Unlike regular scarecrows, which are used to protect crops, those in Nagoro Village are there to fight loneliness.
昔はたくさん人がいてて、で人形今人が少ないからたくさん人形を作ったら昔みたいにそんな感じにとそんなことはあまり思ってないですよ。
The idea of reviving the village came to artist Ayano Tsukimi while making scarecrows in memory of her dad. There are now 300 scarecrows, 10 times more than the real residents. The backstory of the Scarecrow Village nickname left me feeling more sad than scared. Those who love freshness and sweetness will surely be captivated by this place. Bo Cap is not only recognized as a historical landmark of South Africa, but also known as the Cape Malay Quarter. The brightly colored houses in Dutch and British architectural styles combined with winding cobblestone streets. This neighborhood is also famous for its roadside shops selling handmade crafts crafted by the locals themselves. The mosque is a special feature, providing a spiritual space and cultural diversity to the area. When you see the Hanging Temple of Datong, it's natural to wonder how ancient people could build it clinging to sheer cliffs. The construction method was actually quite simple. They carved holes into the rock face and inserted large oak beams as supports, keeping it stable for over 1,500 years. Located in a recessed part of the cliff, the temple is protected from rain and falling rocks as well as flooding. To this day, it remains the only architecture in China that combines Buddhism, Taoism, and Confucianism. And it's not the only structure in China built in such a precarious location. It seems like Elsa must have visited this town and left behind some incredibly dazzling ice architecture. True to its name, this hotel's entire interior is crafted from 5,000 tons of ice from the Torn River. Spanning a total of 6,000 square meters, it boasts about 55 bedrooms. Whenever you visit, you always get a fresh feeling because the hotel changes its design every year. This is not just a place to stay, but a harmonious blend of art, nature, and creativity that creates a magnificent space. It takes 450 years for plastic to decompose, making it a hazardous waste for the environment, but it can also be turned into sustainable building materials. Richard Soa, a British builder, saw the potential of discarded plastic bottles and transformed them into the island you see. The island's core consists of 150,000 plastic bottles placed in nets, covered with topsoil and interconnected by tree roots. Richard harnesses nature to improve life, like using solar-powered stoves or seashell showers. What's most fascinating is that this island operates like a boat. It can sail anywhere. Aogashima, Japan, is home to some of the bravest people in the world, living directly on the rim of an active volcano. This tiny island, inhabited by only 200 people, is isolated in the Pacific Ocean over 350 kilometers away from Tokyo. What makes it unique is that it's a double volcano island, with a smaller volcano nested inside of a larger one. Though beautiful and unique, it's also risky because the giant volcano could erupt at any time. Until then, it remains a peaceful and untouched place, separated from the outside world. Check out Sealand, the smallest nation in the world, with just 27 people and an area the size of 2 tennis courts. It was established on a fort that the United Kingdom built during World War II and later abandoned. In 1967, former British Army Major Roy Bates seized the fort and declared it an independent nation. Throughout its history, there have been disputes between Sealand and the United Kingdom, but ultimately, the UK has been unable to exert control over Sealand as it lies outside its territorial waters. Despite having its own flag, currency, and passports, Sealand has not been internationally recognized as a sovereign state. In the midst of skyscrapers in Chongqing, China, there's a unique horizontal architecture called the Crystal. It's part of the Raffles City Chongqing complex, consisting of 8 skyscrapers stretching 300 meters long and towering up to 250 meters high. The crystal serves not only as a bridge connecting the skyscrapers, but also houses various amenities and spaces. It stands as a testament to creativity and progress in modern architecture and urban development in Chongqing. A building that can dance? That's entirely possible with limitless human creativity. Architects Vlado Milinik and Frank Gehry created the Dancing House amidst the buildings along the Vltava River in Prague. However, this style sparked considerable controversy. The Dancing House is constructed from 99 concrete panels, each with a different shape and size. Atop the building is a large twisted metal structure. This site features nearly 3,000 square meters of office space, restaurants, exhibition rooms, and a conference center. With a rooftop terrace accessible from the 9th floor, visitors can enjoy breathtaking views of Prague. Today, the Dancing House is recognized as one of Prague's most important landmarks and attracts numerous tourists each year. No roads, no cars, just boats. That's Geithorn, one of the oldest villages in Europe, dubbed the Venice of the North. The village is renowned for its extensive network of canals and hundreds of bridges. In contrast, there are very few roads, all of which are narrow footpaths. Tourists arriving by car must park in the outskirts and choose to explore on foot, by bicycle, or by boat. It's a year-round tourist hotspot because every season is picturesque, even winter. Famous as the Manhattan of the desert, Shibam is surrounded by a defensive wall. Not only that, this architecture is a vivid testament to the ingenuity and a masterpiece of ancient civilizations. As a city from the 14th century, it's one of the oldest examples based on the principle of vertical construction. Its distinctive feature lies in its 500 tall towers, ranging from 5 to 11 stories, all built with mud bricks. To protect the buildings from rain and erosion, walls must be regularly coated with layers of mud. This architectural style was used to shield residents from attacks by nomads. With a history of over 2,000 years, this city is an icon of human resilience in the harsh desert environment. Your eyes aren't deceiving you. This super crooked shape is the result of a big storm. Just kidding. This house is well known by two names, Crooked House and Drunk House. It was built by a talented Polish architect in 2004, inspired by fairy tales. Looking at its crooked walls, windows, and sagging roof, few know they're made of incredibly sturdy reinforced concrete. And its placement next to straight houses only highlights its uniqueness. 13 years ago, a wave of urban redevelopment and resettlement swept through many cities in China. In Guangzhou, one household was persuaded to relocate, but was dissatisfied with the compensation apartment offered. The replacement apartment faced a mortuary, so the homeowner was determined to stay in their old house until receiving a higher payout. Unable to do anything else, the developer had to change the design and continue the project. Unexpectedly, this site became a highly sought-after destination in the city. In Dagestan, there's a village situated 1,800 meters above sea level called Kubachi, renowned for its silver crafting tradition. Children are taught handicrafts from a young age to carry on their ancestors' legacy. Living high up in the cliffs, far from modern civilization, Kubachi retains its wild and ancient charm. Infrastructure development for tourists is still limited, so visitors often rely on the hospitality of locals. There's a stunning watercolor painting in Jiangxi, Wangjian Valley, Jiangxi, China. The most famous feature here is the houses clinging to cliffs, built in ancient architectural style with earthen walls, black tiled roofs, and small wooden windows. Baihe Gorge, 110 meters high, includes 12 glass rooms, a library, a hanging restaurant, and an observation deck built on this cliff. The long and serene valley has streams flowing gently and majestic waterfalls flowing year-round without ever drying up. Along with rapid population growth, cities are starting to favor space-saving architecture. Stacked houses and narrow homes are becoming more popular. However, the most groundbreaking idea is the hanging apartments. Surprisingly, emerging and going viral, no one knows where it originated, but it could very well become widespread in the future. Did the unique structures we just introduced make you feel fascinated? If you could live in any of these spaces, let us know below. And feel free to add to WOW TV's list by sharing your experiences in the comment section.